Welcome everybody, here's your Strategy Wolf and welcome back to Strategic Command American Civil War. Welcome back in a Union campaign against LCanidestroyer, the rematch. We are playing the Union side and we are in turn 19, probably in May 1862. Yeah, the war is escalating, or at least intensifying on a lot of fronts. We're having some really promising efforts in Tennessee towards both Memphis and Tennessee, Nashville. A lot of our Marine infantry is embarking to landings as well as further skirmishes both in Missouri and of course on the east at the Potomac. So yeah, the war is intensifying. It's very interesting, and yeah, let's see what the enemy did and how she reacted. Yeah, let's go in together. Right, the attacks here in Arizona continue. However, enemy's supply has to be also quite thin. But yeah, the numerical superiority is quite huge. It might be slowly time to get the calf out, which is like she's preventing now. Maybe I've waited one turn too long. What was she that? Whoa, one division down here. Yeah, this should fall very soon. Like, I really feel like the enemy spread her divisions quite wide. At least I see a lot of them at different places. This must have been an ambush. At least a lot of damage being dealt to this one. But Trenton holds the position. This division very nice. And here the enemy tries to relieve Paul. And she doesn't really retreat here behind the river. That's impressive, or like interesting. Okay, finally we lose the mine over here, giving the enemy back the MPPs at this point. Woodstock under heavy fire, and yeah, the enemy takes out the Woodstock brigade. Alright, back to the beginning. But yes, you saw Beauregard down to level 2. There has been heavy fighting and heavy losses on both sides. But we can't push further into Shenandoah. That's definitely sure about here. And the enemy still keeps on attacking Fort Monroe. I don't know. It won't work like this. The losses for the enemy are huge. This is like a blood mill. Without artillery, no chance, guys. Let's see where the monitor shows up. The frigate shows up here, interesting. Yeah, the enemy's navy is showing a little bit more activity most recently. Very interesting. The enemy definitely dealt also some damage to us. Yeah, this one brigade for sure we lost at the Potomac next to Woodstock. Apart from this, oh yeah, the California column passes through Tucson in western New Mexico. Yeah, they're coming closer, So maybe our relief force from California is arriving in New Mexico very soon. This is quite very much welcome. Yeah, some good raiding, I would say. Looks like a lot of raids happened. Ordnance laboratory explodes, killing at least 60. Yeah, this is a event, I think, regarding south, like some industrial areas south of Richmond. All right. Let's see, we're still loading. Okay, let's have a quick overview together. What's going on? Not yes. Okay, down here. Yeah, last turn I was already considering like some retreat down here. Yeah, however, we can't really reach it with these guys. We can retreat, of course, here to the mountains and try that. Do they even have supply? This settlement? Ah, no, a settlement doesn't even offer any supply. So actually, either we retreat here or nowhere. Okay, yeah, so much about that one. How far can this brigade move this turn? Just next to Paraje. All right, so much about those guys over here. I feel like these guys must be kind of hurt hard, and that we might be able to, because they were already damaged, and now I think their supply must be pretty bad. At least we can check them out later. Here, I'm really surprised that here in Texas there's a entire division showing up down here. Enemy seems to be really annoyed by the Fort Washidas, but I feel like with units have been used, like one attack once one of these forts with 4 units and they should be down in my opinion. But alright, yeah, the enemy sometimes I feel like this is something she needs to learn, or like is something that's maybe more in my experience is like knowing how many units you need somewhere and focus a little bit more, because I feel like here these units, for example, here this division, and I mentioned this a lot of times, I told her already also, a little bit, maybe I'm wrong in the end, they're gonna beat me up heavily, but I feel like here at these, like say, secondary theaters, they're kind of wasted, while we can make nice progress at other points. So talking about progress, okay, I thought the enemy's supply might be hampered quite badly. In the end, it's just ours that's been super hampered. So, yeah, not that amazing. I mean, it's just this brigade. It's just a brigade. Nevertheless, I thought this might be quite hard to supply these troops. Apparently, it is not. Also, up here in Dover, supply 8. Way better than expected, sad. Let's see how we react to this. How we gonna proceed here? I mean, we still have a strong striking force, and we can take out some more, for sure, at least 1 unit, and close in on the enemy. Here, the enemy took back this mine. Here, the enemy took back Woodstock, okay, but no significant gaps or anything. And here we... Is there a second monitor? Didn't we just kill off a monitor last turn? Like, not kill off, sorry guys, but like damaging seriously, like 4 damage or something on the monitor. And it was not the... Okay, Albemarle monitor. It looks like the enemy built extra monitors. Wow. Okay, this complicates a lot of things. The enemy maybe shows some action now. So we are, at least in the big ships, a little bit inferior right now. Can we get our ships at least out? Yes, we can get our navy out, our marines out. That's good. Yes. Okay, but I'm pretty sure the enemy didn't buy even more, so I hope in the south it's free. This is an interesting one. I don't know how we're gonna react to that one. Yeah, I have to take my thoughts as always. Down here, Pulaski. Absolutely in good position. Alright, do we have... Oh, we don't have any new units this turn. We've got 250 MPPs left because last turn we researched cavalry equipment. Yeah, we shouldn't forget about that one. Diplomacy-wise, no news at all. Okay, and looking at the reports, the enemies... How were our radars? No. Yep, our ratings went a little bit up again. Convoy income was lowered, maybe because we took out Savannah, that's good to see. No diplomacy, okay, nothing super special. Alright guys, as always, I'm gonna take my notes and my looks and be right back and present my conclusions to you in a second. Alright, we are back, and as always, let's start off in the very west here in Arizona. And I was thinking I'll try to definitely evacuate this brigade. I think over here in the bad Tehran with the bad supply, those guys shouldn't also really be able to take them out. Yeah, we shall see. I really hope so. Same time we're reinforcing here in Santa Riles. This cavalry is trying to hold the position. You guys march down. You guys gonna be shuffled. And yeah, you guys gonna be reinforced, and then hopefully next turn we're gonna bring in the brigade here to stabilize a little bit. But surely this is, yeah, you see the enemy is quite strong here, and there's also an HQ. We definitely have to wait for our reinforcements coming from California to take any real offensive actions. I think they'll arrive in autumn, but I'm not 100% sure. I should have looked it up, but I forgot. Let me know if you know by heart, or just next time I'll try to figure it out or to look it up again. Let's continue. Reinforce Fort Washida, of course. Let's reinforce Fort Gibson. And as I mentioned, let's see how tough these guys are over here at the moment. And since they're kind of weak. Oh, but here, yeah, Salina is really bad in supply, so I'd rather take them, these guys here, to Kustjanala. And yeah, I could... Shall we take them out? I mean, there's no threat coming from this side, and if I cut them off, they should be out of supply, right? This is actually quite wise. Yeah, let's see. I think they shouldn't be they shouldn't be able to reach Tulasi right now because they're out of supply. I hope I am in supply. Yeah, since the Tulasi is supplying ourselves pretty handsomely. And then we can, when we take those guys out, hopefully we can reinforce these two Osachi units, and then we have a strong cav force to basically cover here the plains. And with the loss here of the Choctaw and the Krieg, I feel like the enemy's threat here in the plains is a little bit reduced already. Well, we will see. Apart from this, let's continue here. Here we just take defensive actions and just reinforce or tag up. I think we should move Mr. Fremont a little bit down also. So I don't know when he can ever reach Carlton. Nevertheless, we're gonna... here we go. Tag up these cavalrylists. These guys, unfortunately, not possible. Maybe let's move up here, actually. Oh! Unexpected encounter. But good that we're here. You see the enemy supply is really, really terrible as well. Okay, then let's retreat. If they move up, they get into the next ambush. So it's once again, we just like keep them busy. And over here, I know the situation for supply-wise is super bad as well. But we're gonna just take these fields. We still can move back 3. Actually, I'm gonna move up even here. Take these positions and then just retreat to supply. So just for the reconnaissance, we took the street, and we will know if the enemy approaches from this side, which once again I do heavily doubt. Alright, so much already about the Missouri-Oklahoma front. After like being optimistic, I could reach out or go like to Fort Smith. Yeah, my ambitions are definitely lowered down here since the enemy showed up with some real reinforcements and rather pushed us back. But as long as we control here basically this mine, and we took already Fayetteville, here in the area there's not too much to get, to be honest. So yeah, sure, Little Rock or Fort Smith are the next, or Arkansas post. But this is far down, and here's a lot of enemy forces, or at least an HQ with 2 or 3 divisions. So for the moment, this is definitely just skirmishes and defense. And we're gonna continue with that over here by reinforcing these guys and taking up these guys and these guys. So if the enemy comes up, it's gonna be an ambush, since I feel the enemy doesn't have cav or any good reconnaissance over here. In general, I feel like we managed to utilize our cavalry quite smoothly so far. And talking about it right now, I'd like to bring down the cavalry here to New Madrid, basically to have even better reconnaissance here in the swamps, so there's no bad surprise in the worst case, or like in a good case. I don't know how far the reaches be, we can even flank them down here, so... Or we easily take them over here. So for the moment, let's bring this cav division actually to New Madrid as some reinforcement. And yeah, it's actually delivering some good reconnaissance, so we see that here's 1 brigade at least. Next turn we can take them up here, and then either go to Gainesville or use them here in this area. I think having them just stationed here in the area is quite helpful for the moment. Alright, coming to probably the most interesting front, or at least, yeah, definitely a very promising front, where at least some of our hopes haven't really materialized, since these troops are in excellent supply and heavily reinforced. And more troops have been brought in for sure. Nevertheless, still we are here absolutely in the offensive, and have, like with Grant, one of our best generals here, and with Gilbert, a new reinforcement. I'm still hopeful to get something done. First, let's handle our defense here in Trenton. And just reinforce these guys. On top, for the next turn, I want to have these guys in technological standard, so they're gonna be reinforced as well. The cav here can't be, but this one can. Also, this cav we're gonna reinforce. And with these guys, I'm gonna go here where I wanted to go already, to kind of flank here or take out these railway roads if I can. Couldn't really... Oh! Holy moly, this is very interesting to see. So the enemy has corpse already. Okay, okay. Oh yeah, maybe I didn't, because the enemy probably has double chitted it. I'm just doing it with one chit. I need to double chit soon. But this is very interesting to know that the enemy has the corpse already. Okay. Well, I mean, they can't be everywhere and they're quite split up, but this is good information for us. Alright. I'll move these rangers over here to this little forest, and these guys... We could take them over here already by forced march. Would be kind of practical to have some of them in the rear of the enemy. Very interesting. Now I'm not gonna go forward here. Let's think for 1 second. Basically, we have these 2 divisions here well up, but we can get one more in as reinforcements for this side. So yeah, we're gonna protect just in case Grant from the southwest, so nothing slips through here. So we can use both of these divisions to move to the east. We could force march them already over here. But do I want to is the other question. Of course, lowers morale. We would have them over the river to cut here. Actually, kind of, yes, it's smart to have them over here next turn, I think. And we have the railway supplies halfway okay. I think I'll put these guys down here to protect this crossing and force march them over here. Without any reconnaissance, the enemy also shouldn't see them. So when moving around here, having suddenly an army around should be surprising. And with any partisan issues, no. Question is if I'm not really protected down here, so maybe I can't. I move Grant a little bit in that direction. How does this affect our supply? Well, not super much, but yeah, of course I could move Grant already into this forest, but I can't really cover the approach, let's say. I mean, I can go scouting with this one, and I think I will. Yeah, to have some extra eyes down here. Guys, no risk, no fun, and I think if they pass here, they would run into the zone of controls of these guys, so I'm gonna move even a little bit further. Is there any massive change? It got worse, right? This was at 4. Anyhow, we want him probably here next turn to help out to supply this side of the eastern side of the Tennessee River, because we want to approach Nashville definitely, and despite the core here, it can be taken care of. Alright, definitely the ironclad has to be repaired and the timberclad has to go to repairs. Then let's definitely take these fields just to have them in our control. Let's attack Pork a bit and see what happens. How much action points? Yeah, okay, we can protect here the crossing maybe. Oh, at least we deal some damage also. Alright. So I kind of overestimated, I think, the size of our river fleet, but some damage on Pork. This is gonna definitely help out and hamper the situation of the enemy over here. Question is, shall we reinforce here our brigade or... Yeah, reinforce them. Actually, I'll tech them up this turn. This hasn't been, because I don't see any promising attack here on Dover, but... Or taking them, bringing them up to 10. Let's fill them up to 10 first, and then we can still... They're not really essential for the battles to come. Okay, and then let's have a look over here where the enemy reinforced, so we cannot get out at all. We could open up some supply lines so they don't starve, but I feel like they're gonna be killed off anyways. I'm not 100% sure if this is gonna be so smart. Nevertheless, I want the attack to keep on rolling, and therefore I'm definitely gonna attack down here this brigade. Ooh. The opposite of the forecast. It's defending way better. Oh. Higher losses than expected. Oh, that's not amazing. Bringing these guys in. Okay, at least... Okay, Clarksville has been taken, which is nice. Then we can move up Gilbert to Clarksville. You guys are gonna get reinforced for sure. And... these guys can take out these fellas. But actually, when we cut them off... yeah, the division here is out of supply. Which should be nice. They can only move one hex, so they will only move... they can connect to Springfield, potentially. Can they? And can I shuffle those guys out? Maybe I can. And I will. Maybe this will save them, actually, because now these guys can only be attacked by the Cav or the Core. Well, we shall see how this affects them. Let's say at least not a convenient or comfortable situation for the enemy. That's for sure. So one brigade taken out, another one trapped or like on the side. I mean, the enemy refreshed them, but they're still in a shitty situation, I would say. Sorry for the wording. And the question, there's of course one core that can hit us hard, but not without the preparation bonus, not so much. And of course the enemy has one front coming from the north, one coming from the west. Is there something coming from the east? And I would love to actually... yeah, let's try. I don't have the reconnaissance here. I'll try to just take Crosswell to pretend there's also a push coming from the east to build up even more pressure. Yes, very nice. Unoccupied. And Huntsville over here, this division I'm gonna reinforce or like take up. I mean, at least the enemy was forced to put down some units down here to Knoxville and Tazewell. Let them ride up if they want to. I can bring in reinforcements anytime, hopefully. But for the moment, I really like actually a position here in Huntsville to see both of the cities, to have reconnaissance on both of the cities. Kind of a good situation. So far, I'm actually in general quite happy with my reconnaissance and cavalry play style. Took me probably also a couple of turns to learn about the importance of those in this very game. Since yeah, having a reconnaissance advantage is definitely advantageous. Okay, coming to the Potomac, where at first I was a little bit sad, was too much, because of course this was calculated that the enemy pushed us back here. But guys, apparently Winchester, we sieged it down, so it had supply 0, and the fantastic thing, it looks like that we can actually beat them out of here. Very unexpected after... let's say even like at this point more or less a year of siege of Winchester, the town has finally been taken by us. Splendid. Whilst okay, here I can't really reinforce, and then let's see what we will do. Let's see. Can you go? No, Banks moves one further here. You guys might want to get out actually over some time. Here, you guys can retreat yeah, this position we're gonna give up. This position I think I wanna keep, since we do have some nice hill and fort here, and we interrupt a railway line. The CAF I'm gonna have here as a reserve, since I definitely want to have a CAF around. For reconnaissance reasons once again. The division is going to take this cornerstone of the defense here. Guys, where... yeah, these guys can be refreshed next turn. So can those guys over here. In this line, I'm going to keep hold the line. I'm not going to... let's shuffle them through, by the way, and take up. Garibaldi finally can make it to Washington, so can Halleck to Frederick. So can... these can be refreshed. Okay, and here's actually the last unit that has to be replaced and tagged up. Interesting. At least here in this area now we have basically the front line with tag 1 at least. That's good to see. Okay, great stuff down here. Then we've got Fort Monroe, of course, to reinforce. And apart from this, we are now stuck, or like we are left with our naval situation. First of all, so once again, we do have the situation. The enemy has apparently 2 monitors out, and we have 1. So, and monitors are at the moment quite hard to penetrate. In 2 months, we should get our ironclads out, so this should definitely change all of that a lot. Nevertheless, until then, we have to be a little bit careful. Good, we got our units out already. These guys, let's see, this river ironclad had one it was supposed to ship down. Can we get the monitor ready to a harbor where we can use smoothly? Not really. Not from here, so we have to drive them up. Okay, that's fair. Evacuate a little bit, then let's block off or secure. Secured with 1 gunboat, maybe. Just in case, so things wouldn't immediately hit our monitor. So then we've got this frigate, and I think this frigate I'm gonna use for scouting up here. Not that the enemy moved the monitor up. No, she didn't, since if she would have, this would have been kind of bad for us, since now we want to take our 3 landing ships or landing marines and move them up here. So they will move down to the Gulf of Mexico where they're supposed to be. And yeah, we kind of checked out that the enemy hasn't blockaded our shipping lines over here, and next turn they're out, so this is not a big deal anymore. Alright, yeah, this gunship should... I don't want it... like, it needs to be repaired at some point. Can we use Hatteras to fully? No. Okay, let's bring this frigate here to Annapolis to fully repair. Because we don't have 10 over here. This gunboat can be repaired over here. And you guys... Oh! Actually, I misclicked since I didn't see... I thought it was stupid, but 1 damage, not bad. I mean, probably supplied by Lee or something, that's why they're so strong, but shall we just in case take... No, let's keep Alexandria. I'm getting too greedy. Okay, let's play defensively. If the enemy lure them in the end, she's gonna see that one for sure from land side. But if the enemy moves it up, that's gonna stop here. We might lose another gunboat. It happens. Gunboats are like not supposed to be lost. That's like too strong, but they can be lost because the value is quite limited. Yeah, now we're only having a problem that... Let's move these guys up. We need to flee that we can't really block off this blockade runner route this turn. We need to definitely repair our gunboat that's in harbor down here already. And then let's see. Here we don't need to raid actually anymore, so actually we can take this frigate we can block it off. And to be honest, let's take the other one. I think it was just 1 frigate around. There might be a nice surprise for them if they show up again. These guys can keep the possession. There was either the submarine or another gunboat. And down here, I'm actually... actually, then let's keep them down here until they are repaired. I'm not sure if the blockade runner event is still working, despite taking Fort Pulaski. Alright, then we've got the remaining gunships here. And you guys gonna go from Key West to Fort Pickett, as always. Since we want to build up our attack force over here. And here's the first reinforcements from Fort Pickett. Let's take them here, these gunboats. And then maybe next turn... Might be interesting to actually consider like attacking just this fort already. Or one here, I don't know. Maybe I will think about it to start some distraction on just some random fort attacks to make the enemy feel unsafe and struggle. That's the idea. Alright, so what else? What else? We've got, these guys. Let's bring them also already in the long-range transport. Where they'll go, we'll see. Either also to the south, or depending on the monitor situation, I could also just imagine a deterring or like just a annoying little landing somewhere down here to distract the enemy and pull real reserves away. And apart from this, I feel kind of done. The question is what we where should we move McClellan? Here, I don't feel like there's so many troops we would need one. Got 2 HQs here, maybe. One in Cairo to defend here. Well, or like we bring him up to, or we bring him back to the Potomac area to be a potential quick transport reinforcement to the south if we land somewhere really promisingly. Where do we have the next reinforcements? We checked it already last turn, but September in Philadelphia and November. To be honest, I'll take him to Washington, D.C. just in case. So we'll have one that we can ship in wherever we need. And then with the future, I know here one would be very lovely over here as well as in New Mexico, of course. But these can be like with the, let's say, late autumn ones can be easily deployed over here, and it's not that urgent yet. And I'd rather like not take Garibaldi. I mean, he's the head of the, this is kind of role play since we choose him to be the head commander of all United States or Union forces. So he's supposed to stay in Washington, in my opinion, or at least in this area. So McClellan goes to Washington, so we can ship him out next turn if we need to, or any time. And then we have like a little bit of an abundance here, but I think this doesn't hurt us. All right, so much about our movements. I think there's nothing else to do. We've got no new units. Yeah, sure, research. We had like the effect or the successful research in cavalry, and now I thought like of course corps would be nice. We'll hit that with I try to double check as soon as possible, guys, and I know some of you probably cursed me for like seeing the enemy with a core, and we are like slowly still like at 65%, quite far away from having one. I will like sincerely go in here, but not anymore. Cav was nice to get started quickly, but it's also not that urgent, so this is why I'm not gonna keep up the double chit here. And as promised, since we're building one railway artillery, I will definitely start researching heavy mortars. And I'll flank that by wasting 50 MPP that could be invested in research. I'm gonna flank that by also getting another, or like not another, getting a siege artillery out. So we at least do some research for 2 artillery pieces, and maybe we're gonna stack up even more with this. It's not as flexible, of course, as the railway artillery, but especially here at the Potomac, or let's see, the moment things are still quite movable, or like, yeah, we have maneuver warfare, but let's say if the enemy is somewhere we have to hold or something, or the enemy can fortify, a siege artillery will come very handy, I would say. All right. Leaving us with 30 MPP, not so much to do. Yeah. As you see, we had a lot of reinforcements to do, so it's quite intense. Definitely hard fights, or the fights are intensifying. I see turn by turn that we have to spend more of our income on reinforcements, but we are also still making progress. This turn, not so much. At last, I think we didn't take a fighting spirit objective as the last turns, but nevertheless, still happy with the situation and excited how it continues. Let's have a quick look here at the fighting spirit. 107% with the Confederate and 80% for us. Let's have a quick look on the fighting spirit when we talk about it also in the diagrams. And yeah, ours is slowly dropping. That is the problem, but I think this is not due to massive losses, but also events or over time. And of course, the enemy has its advantage of getting a huge boost via Richmond, but we are at least pushing it slowly down again. Hopefully we're gonna get them below 100 soon. while we hopefully don't fall under 70 or 80 too soon. Well, I guess that's the race, what the game is about. I still have high hopes for future success, both in Nashville and like in Tennessee, maybe somewhere here with a massive landing, maybe in New Orleans, maybe pushing towards Memphis. There's plenty of options, but yeah. The war is still very hot and interesting. I hope you also think so. Let me know what your opinions are. Where would you focus? What would you recommend me to do? Drop it to me in the comments. I'm happy to react and interact with you guys. Thank you for your comment. And of course, if you haven't yet, it would be fantastic if you leave me a like and a subscription, since it doesn't cost you anything, while it keeps the channel growing and motivates me a lot and gives me some kind of nice feedback. So thank you very much for that. And most importantly, I'm happy to see you in the next episode again. So see you next time. Bye. Your Strategy Wolf. And sorry guys, just realized we have to finish first. Let's do it together. Maybe there's no big events incoming. Oh, there's at least one event. Okay. Secretary of War Edwin Stanton. As casualties from the battlefields continue to mount, fewer young men are volunteering to serve in the army, causing concerns that there may not be sufficient manpower to replace our losses in the future. As a solution, the Enrollment Act has been proposed, requiring those states that cannot meet their manpower quotas to draft men into service. This act would allow us to form our 4 additional infantry divisions, which would deploy across the country immediately. A draft will almost surely be unpopular, immediately reducing fighting spirit by 2,500 points, and it is possible that riots would erupt in major cities following the act's approval. Would you like to institute a draft? Okay. It is impossible to know exactly how severe the reaction to the draft will be, although the worst-case scenario will see 4 major cities erupt with unrest, weakening our economy for the next several turns. Ooh. Historically, the Enrollment Act was made law in March 1863, providing Union with 160,000 additional men throughout the war, out of around 2 million who served in the war. In addition to widespread desertions, the draft also inspired large riots in New York City in July 1863. Just now we had a look on the fighting spirit, but I actually can't tell how much. 2,500 points. I guess it's 102.5%. It's 100,000 for the full one. And you know what, guys? We're playing with fire this time. We're going hard. Also with Garibaldi and so forth, so I'm not playing it safely. And also we do have some initiatives, I would say, around the corner, and 4 additional divisions, especially in the Tennessee and so forth, could actually help us out a lot, so let's get them. Yeah, let's get them. We institute the draft. I think the last turn when I played it in single player, I never did it. We begin the draft in New York, in Philly, in Detroit, and in Chicago. Okay, are we going to have the unrest? Chicago unrest. And that seems to be it. Let's see if there's more chances the next turns, but maybe we were lucky in just 1 of 4 cities. We shouldn't forget about those units next turn. That's just the thing. Here we complete another fortress behind the Potomac. Very nice to see. Oh, another one. So here we are really, like, this looks pretty great, I guess. Yeah, riots as always. Savannah blocks the port as always. Oh, come on, Niagara gets hit by rough seas. This one as well, but no damage. Westminster Bridge across the Thames is opened, okay. And so much about it. We're still paying for Fort Pulaski, so a little bit lower income, but nothing special. And yeah, once again, comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Then absolutely see you next turn with when you're back. And when I'm back, bye. Your Strategy Wolf.